It's 2025 and you need to get a computer up to the screen, but there's some problems, so I'm going to show you the workaround right now. We have a unit in this rack right here that's broken. It's no longer letting this access from the stage input to work, so there's only one HDMI input. And we're going to show you where that is in just a second, but first we're going to talk about the sound system. And I'm going to act like you've never done this before at all. On the back right of this board, there's a button near the power jack. You don't have to see it necessarily. There's where it is. I'm going to push that button and it's going to turn this thing on. You always want to turn the soundboard on first, so it's going to take a second to boot up. Once it's booted up, we're going to have to turn on the speaker system, and it's going to require a key, a Jochum sound key, which is a little keystone shape or something like that, that I'm going to show you how we use this. Now, hopefully in the future, all this is relatively obsolete, but we're going to use that key in a second. When you first turn this on, you're going to see a screen that says select a user. Hit the default user. There's no password to that one. It's going to load the scene up. Hit yes, and it'll work. It's going to load that scene up. From here, you've got a whole bunch of faders, and we're going to have our sound routed through here for it to work. For you, this button up here that says Stereo 3 is where we have to hook sound in right now. Even though there's one right next to it that says Projector, Stereo 3, which is right here, this is just an aux cable. You need to plug this into your computer on the other end, and then this is how Stereo 3 is going to work. So first off, make sure that this button that says LR is illuminated. There should be some volume on the master fader, and then you're just going to turn this knob to set the volume for your computer in a second. If you don't have, it wasn't off, you might have to hit the processing button. If it's lit, hit it again. And then where it says change user, you could come on here, click default, log in, load the default scene, and then you're good to go, and you'll be right at this point right here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with audio. That's how you're going to control your volume. When we come around the back, we're going to show you how to turn on the system here. So, well, we'll take a good look at this button, by the way. There's the on-off button right by the power jack. So that's on right now. Back on the back of this port is where this key goes. You'll see it says off and on. You're going to insert the key with the teeth of the key down, and then you're going to flick this to the right so it says on. At that point, all these little LEDs are going to come on. You do this after the soundboard is on. Okay? Now, there is an HDMI cable that's hanging out right here. This is what you need to connect for your computer, and that's going to go right up to the projector. This, come around maybe to this angle for a second. This right here is how you're going to turn the projector on. Even though you can't choose an input from here anymore, it still remote controls the power to that projector. And this little gadget right here will raise and lower the screen. So the up and the down and the stop buttons will work for that. So once you have the system on, you'll plug in the HDMI. You'll make sure that your computer is set to send whatever signal that you want. If you need audio, then you need to be able to hook up the rest of that stuff. If you don't need audio, you can just do this stuff if you just have slides. But it all has to run from up here. Then you can use a remote control or stand up here when you're lecturing. You could even, if you really need to, you could have people sit in this nearby area so you could control the computer. This is all a workaround because that thing is broken. We have some of the equipment to fix it, but we don't have the money yet to install it. And so we're working on that. So if you see something different, if you don't see that key thing, it means there's a touch screen somewhere over here, and this is all obsolete. But for now, that's how you do it.